Hey, this video is to help you download and install AViCAD. So we just click the download link here, and from here, it's just going to start the download. This is a rather large download. It's over 900 or so megabytes. You'll need a pretty average to good connection in order to download this. You'll also want to take a look at your antivirus settings while you're downloading. So let's have a quick look at those. So down here in your toolbar, to the left of your clock area, you're going to have a small icon here for your antivirus settings. Depending on what you're using, these are all going to be slightly different. But what you're looking for is what's called auto protect, or it could be real-time protection or something like that. And normally you'll be able to access your settings through this menu here, again, underneath your antivirus icon. You may see a menu like this where you'll have more options. And from here, you can disable it permanently. I do recommend that setting because as you're using CAD, you don't want a program to be live scanning your backup files and your autosave files. It could cause crashes, and in some instances, some customers have these issues. So just keep that in mind. What I really recommend doing is then setting a time in your antivirus to just go through your computer at the beginning and end of day versus real-time scanning. Real-time scanning is really protecting you as you're downloading things from the web. After you download something, you can scan it manually just by right-clicking on the file and choosing scan. One thing to keep in mind too, there is what's called Defender. And if I type in Windows Security, you'll notice here, I have the option to turn off real-time protection. Have a look at this setting as well. Depending on the browser that you have, at the upper right here, we have the download indicator. And then from here, we can click on it and then monitor the progress of the download. And if you're experiencing extreme slowdown for the download itself, it's probably the fact that you have real-time scanning turned on and the antivirus is just slowing that download almost to a halt. So my advice is just turn it off and then do your scanning after the download's complete. It's a whole lot faster. You just have to get into good practice with scheduling and then manually scanning. So now that the file is complete, we can browse to your downloads folder on your computer, and then you'll see it here. It's just a matter of double clicking and then going through the installation process step by step. We'll just go ahead and choose yes for this. This is basically just saying that you're allowing this installation to take place. And it may give you this message if you downloaded AViCAD previously, it will just overwrite it. And then again, if you have a copy on your system, it's going to refresh the profiles. You can skip this if you want, and then choose next and accept the license agreement. From here, keep this as a default. I recommend that. Choose next. Here you can choose what you want to install. Again, keep all this checked. Next, and then again, keep all this checked and choose next and install. Here it's just installing the necessary files. This will just take less than a minute. So we'll have a couple of screens to go through. Just make sure that you follow through all the way to the end. So after it's done with this, you'll have the MetQ installation here. Make sure you install this. Then you'll have the finish screen here at the end. And we'll initialize first time here. Then I recommend, then you can choose one of these. Typical one is going to be ribbon full. And we'll choose OK. And then you'll have your MetQ settings dialog here. This is not an error. This is just saying that it's not finding your MetQ settings in the file. You will have the option in MetQ to save these files out to a separate file. In this case, you could use your custom settings file. But we'll just choose OK for this, and we're done. Now, if you don't want this ribbon in the way, you can right-click and minimize the ribbon, and this gives you more of a classic interface. I do recommend typing in menu bar and this needs to be set to 1. That's going to give you this top menu here where you're going to have the classic pull downs, but then you'll also have the ribbon at your fingertips when needed. You could access, let's say, the Express Tools, MetQ here, and so forth. Just one last quick tip for you. I recommend turning on the layer control. This is going to allow you to have the layer menu accessible at all times, no matter where you are, versus having to load the layer manager in. As well, if you find yourself in the ribbon quite a bit, for example, let's say the MetQ ribbon, and you're using a certain utility all the time, you can create a shortcut for it. So if you just right-click and then choose Add to Quick Access Toolbar, what it will do is place a small icon up here so that you don't have to go find that every time you want to use it. And you can do that with pretty much everything on the ribbon. I hope this video has been helpful. Feel free to email or call me if you have questions. Have a great day.